Right, welcome back. Okay, so we're back on the Renault 8 again, and we're doing the front wheel bearing. Last time you saw us on the last clip, we were stripping it down using the original Renault tool to clamp round it, pull it off, etc. like that. It's pretty easy. It is a bit hard if you haven't got that tool, but you know, there's plenty out there that can make something up similar. So this one, we came back to fitting it all back up. However, unfortunately, in the past, one of the bolts, the locating bolts, these are the original ones that are fuse welded in, had actually been replaced and it snapped. So we had to get another one of these out of stock, and now it's time to put it all back together. So we've greased up the inner bearing. What I'm just going to do is just get a nice big dollop and get that on the inside here as well, just so we know it's all good. The disc's been cleaned up, they've been measured, I measured them all up, and they're well within tolerance. These discs, unless they're pitted, really will last for years. You know, in a normal sort of situation, obviously, if you're going to go competition-wise, you know, you may want to go vented discs. There's quite a few different kits out there on the market, and also, you know, historically. So, you know, people used to put big brake kits, as the French call the gros frein, which are based on the Renault 16 brakes. But for this application, you know, the customer may want to change them later on, but they're all right as they are now. So we slide that in for a start, and then try to get a bit more light in here now. And that goes on the back here, and just simply, he says, get it lined up. Again, camera shy, isn't it? So where are you? There we go. Right, so we just get that on there. I'm just going to put a couple of nuts and bolts on just to hold it in place for starters. Once we've got these on, we'll then put the outer bearing on just to align it all, and we should be in a better position. Now on these, I think I said about it on the other clip, the other video, whatever, sorry, all new to all this lot. Plenty of stuff on Instagram, but nothing on YouTube. Is that they have shims in them. So what they're there to do is to align the brake caliper mounting against the disc, so you get an equal spacing on it. Now these were supposedly set up at the factory. How true that is, ooh, who knows. What I tend to do is we do like for like. We had a look at it beforehand. Yeah, what we tend to do is go like for like, and pretty much everything was okay beforehand, all lined up. So these are the little shims here. So just giving them a bit of a clean up. They just sort of pop back in, and we can just wind it back up a little bit. Hold it in place. Don't need to have these tight at the minute, you just need to get them in just so they're holding for the time being. Get the other one in. So they just sit in behind the carrier and against the hub. So is it going? Oh, anti-threaded weak, can't do it. Right, so outer bearing, you see obviously it's all cocked off. Just going to put the outer bearing in, and then we can wind it on. Make sure we actually load these up with grease properly. Everyone's got their own sort of way of doing it. The way I've always done it from Renault, from college, etc., is going in either end of these and forcing the grease through, so you get the end of the bearing, so it's nicely greased up. Some people just whack a load of grease on it and then just stick it in. For I don't know what, nearly 30 years, any bearings I've done like this, you know, so we've not had any failures. Bit of a tedious job, so you might want to come back to me in a minute. In the meantime, any of you who's wanting to fall asleep, you know, crack on, keep watching. Really, I prefer grease 2 rather than grease, but well, that's a bit of a bad joke, isn't it? So sorry. Have we got any more bad jokes? I'm sure we have. I'm sure we'll have loads along the way. Why did the car drive into the river? Oh, to dip his lights. Oh no. I think I better just give up. So, you see it curling out. Get it all pushed in here nicely. There we go, so that's all the way through on all of these. Let me just give it a coat on the outside. Give it a good dollop up. Like that. There you go, another bit on there. Right, so then we can just pop that little one on there, just like that. Plenty of excess on here, as we can see. So yeah, just give that a quick wipe off there, make sure everything's tickety boo. All looks pretty good there. Put the plate back on. Looks pretty nice and clean. It's just going to centralise these bearings. 27mm. So it's just going to push that disc back on there all the way. Right, that's it. That's gone on there. So now we just back it off a bit. Just so there we go. That's nice, that is. I can't put the split pin in because I realise I've left the split pin tin at home. So that's a bit of a stupid idea, isn't it? So 14mm on the back. Again, oh dear, should just use the little socket. Let's go for it. Careful we don't get any of them mucky, else my life ain't going to be worth living. So 14mm, there we go. Put top on the grease because we don't need that anymore. So it's nice and simple. Once this lot's all actually gone back together, of getting it all back together. Obviously it's just a case of making sure that everything goes right, because you know this one here is 1964, so it's just coming on for 62 years old. A lot of people think, yeah, it looks it, but realistically you think, you know, if I was thinking back to, like, you know, my 20s, I thought it was a car that was 62 year old, you know, bloody hell, it was the 1940s car. So yeah, it was a big old difference really, but they do leave, you know, a bit of a bit of a timeless classic, these. You know, still heavily used in the competition circuits. Some this year, 2026 in the Monte Carlo Rally. I think we've got, I think there's 2 R8 Gordinis in it. And it's the same mechanicals as the Alpine A110. So they use the same platform. In fact, the Alpine guys they did actually used to go out and do the recce in the course in an 8 Gordini, because there was a far better visibility. Then he used to go out in the one. So yeah, so this uses a smaller bearing on this earlier car. So this being 1964 uses the same bearings as the Dauphine front end actually, although it's still on ball joints top and bottom as opposed to the kingpins. They still kept the smaller diameter shaft, so no problem with that, but it's just like the evolution of anything. So there we go, that's all nice now. All we've got to do tomorrow is just pop the split pin in there, whack the cap on, and then put the calipers back on, the pads back in, bleed it all up, wheel back on, job's a fish. So please have a, if you like, you know, give us a follow, drop us some comments, see how you're all getting on, see what you're doing, and you know, it's just a basic, it's a simple thing. I'm not trying to teach anyone to suck eggs here. It's just a case that some people, you know, over the years have sort of like asked how do they do certain sort of jobs, quite easy jobs, but what one person thinks is an easy job, another person may sort of struggle with. So if we can make it a little bit easier for people, then that's the idea. But yeah, stay tuned, we'll have some more interesting stuff, or stuff to get you to sleep at night. Thanks a lot, cheers, bye.